Hello and welcome. My name is Jason Allen Jankowski, Forex analyst and trader. Today we're doing an introduction to my proprietary trading software, the Pro Traders Toolbox, running on Multicharts analysis software. I want to get right to work. Just want to remind everybody, though, that trading in off-exchange foreign currency transactions or Forex, that involves risk of loss. It's not suitable for all traders at all points in time. You got to make sure you're financially and emotionally qualified to trade. Only trade with money you can afford to lose. And what we're talking about in here today is my personal point of view on the markets. It's all subject to change at any time. Let's get right to work. Just want to tell you a little bit about myself because I know we've got people listening that have never heard me speak before. And as such, I want to make sure that you know a little bit about how I came to develop the Toolbox. I've been trading since 1986. Did my very first trade in Chicago Board of Trade Big Board Corn. Absolutely loved it. I'm self-taught, self-educated. I started as a customer, just like anyone listening to this might have been. And I've learned to focus on trader or market psychology as being the important parts to a winning trade approach. The Toolbox attempts to quantify trader and market psychology as best as we possibly can at this moment in time, me personally. I've got 3 titles published by Wiley. Some of you may have read them. If not, feel free. My latest book, Time Compression Trading, published last year, October 2010, is a real critical look at the relationship between winners and losers in the market. And the Toolbox, of course, we're using that to help us find a lead on the market to be winners more often. And that is really the entire crux of what we want to talk about today with regards to the signals. So what is the Toolbox? Well, the Toolbox is a library of buy or sell signals you install into the Multicharts analysis software. And the software is preloaded with proprietary algorithm formulas that will create buy or sell signals for the Forex trader. Now, it's important to note that the buy or sell signals are designed to function best on the top 5 cash Forex major pairs. This is where 90% of the liquidity in the market and opportunity comes from, in my view. That's pound, euro, yen, Swiss franc, and Canadian dollar, all traded against the U.S. dollar. However, it's important to note, too, the signals can be used with any cash currency signal. You know, in Multicharts, there's multiple numbers of pairs that you can trade, and the software will create signals in there. However, and not only that, on futures and equities, which I'm going to show you as well, but it's not recommended that you do that right away. It's really better that the less experienced trader, become thoroughly familiar with the signals the Toolbox generates before applying those signals to other markets. One thing, too, I want to mention that the signals, they're extremely simple. We want to keep this as simple as we can. And the simple signals are this. There are 2 kinds of trend signals, 2 kinds of trend buy or sell signals. If you want to go with the trend, you've got a trend buy or sell, and you've got a strong trend buy or sell. A little bit better probability on the strong trends. There are 3 kinds of reversal signals. There's a hook reversal, exponential reversal, and an exhaustion reversal. And I'm going to show you examples of all of these. The exhaustion reversal is the least common. You won't see that as often, but when you do, you need to really pay attention to that, because the exhaustion reversal gives you a very high probability of a significant lead on the market if you have the ability to take that signal. Also, the signals also have a negation feature that helps to avoid false signals. You know, every system that you have out there, any proprietary method of getting position, there's going to be times when they create signals that are, you know, false or early, wrong. And the negation feature is active. So once the signal comes on, the next bar is watching for a negation. And if you see that, it gives you the opportunity to cut your loss faster. Doesn't necessarily mean that you want to get out. It just means it's a caution flag, and it gives you that opportunity. It's telling you something. Here are the signals. Green means buy. Red means sell. Blue means negation. So if we look at our trend buy or sell, that's a small t. Our strong trend buy or sell is a capital T. Exhaustion, hook, or exponential are E, H, and X. And if any of these signals, the Toolbox thinks they might be a little early, might want to be careful, it's going to show up as a blue E, X, H, T, or T on the next few bars. Also, the system will generate suggested stops, and I'm going to show you the value of those in just a minute. So let's go ahead and get to charts. And what I'm going to do is start with a daily British pound versus US dollar chart. And you should have that up right now. Good. Okay. Now, on this chart, we've got most of the signals listed. You can see the green trend or strong trend buys over here in August, starting back here, coming to October, and you can see the green X reversal. That's a buy point. And you can notice the nice lead there. And then we have trend sells just after the X reversal coming on, and some negations, which would have saved you a little bit of time and money as the market reached up into new highs and then sold off. Some of the trend buys or trend sells you can see are early, so the important thing here is to notice that how many times the market might give you a lead or how many times you'll get signals that are right in the same general area, like right over here at the beginning of 2010. We had trend buys beginning right there in January. Later it gave you a trend sell, said maybe you might want to go short. You know, if you're following the system religiously, you'll get a lead more often than not, and if you're flexible enough to go long or short at any time, you're going to get opportunity on both sides of the market quite frequently. If you notice here in May of 2010, Toolbox called the absolute bottom, gave you a couple of attempts at a bottom, both in February and in March. But in May, you had your absolute bottom for the year so far, and off to the races we went. Some late sell signals here, but then an X reversal over here in August gave you a lead on the alleged correction, and you can see we're in that area now. I also want to show you a Euro 60-minute chart, and the reason I want to show you the Euro 60-minute chart is because I think this particular chart gives you a good indication, even on a trend, why you want to use the suggested stops. And you can see above the market and below the market these green and red dots. Those green and red dots are suggested stops. So if we start over here on the 14th of excuse me, the 14th of January, right here we have this X reversal. It looks like it might be a near-term high, but there's a stop placed above it. And you'll notice that if the market then rallied quickly and faded and actually gave you a nice lead here by the next day or two, but we missed that stop. And you'll notice that almost all the times that is the case, you'll see where either a sell position or a long position, despite market volatility, the suggested stop would keep you in the game enough before you get a little bit of a lead. If we go back here to the far left of the screen, you'll notice these trend sells that were late still gave you a little bit of help here, but then when they were negated, see where the negation factor comes in. The negation factor is before the suggested stop. So the advantage there is to help you maybe cut your loss, but even if you held to the suggested stop, in most cases, going back here to all these reversal signals, all the way up until the latest break lower here on the far right of the screen, the suggested stops kept you out of trouble most of the time. And on the long side, the suggested stops kept you out of trouble until you had some kind of a lead. So if you're real aggressive, one of the things about using the suggested stops that might really help you is that take the signal, put the stop in, wait a few bars, you get a lead, cut that risk a little, roll your stop up a little faster, maybe roll it to break even, and you might end up with more executions and you might end up getting whipsawed, but for the most part, it's going to keep you out of trouble. I want to show you something too called the market scanner, and on this one we're going to use a couple of stock symbols. And what I like about the market scanner is that it gives you the opportunity to watch what's important to you. Like if you're a stock trader, you might want to have your basic portfolio up here, 6, 8, 10 basic stocks you're watching, and you can choose the time frames that you want to watch them on. And you notice here underneath on the charts, you get the same signals for your whatever you're watching, KLAC in this case on the right. You got your same signals that are posted. And on stocks, though, on equities, we don't place the suggested stops in there because it tends to be a little bit different for stock traders. So we're working on that. But you can see the signals give you some opportunity, and they're always listed up on top, your plot signals, for all of what you're looking at. So if you got a daily time frame, hourly time frame, you've got the opportunity to watch your portfolio, let's say. And if there's signals there, you can be aggressive and take them. And while you're watching them. Also on the market scanner, I want to show you multiple time frames. I think this is really important. On multiple time frames, let's go ahead and put up a chart here on one of the on the currency pairs, and in this case, we're using one of the top 5 currency pairs, euro. And I want you to notice over here on the left of this plot signals, there's nothing listed here because, in fact, we're taking this particular broadcast on a Saturday. And this Saturday, of course, nothing's happening. But you'll notice the chart over here, the plot signals over here. We have 5, 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. Basically, what this allows you to do is it allows you to watch every time frame that might be important to you on your chart. And you can choose the time frame that you want to watch on a chart in terms of a graphic representation. But whatever pair you're watching, you can look at every market or every time frame on that market in one spot. So on this particular market scanner, it gives you every time frame for a particular pair. So you might see signals stacking up in one area. You might see that you've got a daily and a weekly and maybe a 240 and a 120-minute sell signal are all coming on at the same time, and it's a Friday afternoon. That might indicate that's a real good place to get short and hold it. And then you might see sell signals coming on later in the day in the other time frames. That's giving you an indication that maybe you're onto something. So this scanner is very helpful for someone who's being just a little bit more aggressive on a particular pair. I want to show you also a GE, this equities symbol, because of the exhaustion reversal. And remember I told you the exhaustion reversal is very rare. You don't see it that often, but here it is. Here's a green E reversal in March of 2009. Remember when the market was crashing? Everybody thought the market was going to go to zero. Nobody had the courage or the conviction to buy that break. The Toolbox was trying to get you long starting all the way back in October and November of that year. Now, you may have taken some nice heat here, but when that E came on in March, if you would have had the courage and conviction to buy it and hold it, look where we are today. That E came on at $6 a share. We're at $20 now a year or two later. For a stock trader, this is some great opportunity. And also the trend signals and the reversal signals near term, also on a daily time frame, did give you some short-term opportunities if you're one of those guys that like to trade a large, well-capitalized stock for shorter-term moves. And last, I want to show you the mini mid-cap. In my opinion, the thing that I find really helpful about the Toolbox is that it does have a tendency to have some really good signals on futures indices, stock indices. Here's mini mid-cap, and I want you to notice some of these signals, just absolutely killer signals. Starting over on the left, take a look at some of these trend reversal, far left, trend buys gave you a nice lead. X reversal here, the red X reversal here, while holding just above these trend buys, the X negation came on very quickly. So even if you were trying to sell it here, you were able to get out fast. If you were a buyer and you ignored that X, look at that move. Coming back down here to the bottom that we saw here earlier, look at some of these X's that are at the bottom of the market over here at 9 o'clock in the morning. Look at this buy. And then at the top, look at some of these X's and H's at the highs. Some of these moves are just staggering amounts of money if you're willing to sit with them. You know, some guys that I work with, they love trading X and H reversals. That's all they do on a shorter time frame in the indices. They ignore the trend ones. So that's certainly something you could get creative with. And that's basically it. Let me go ahead and just show you how to get a copy of the Toolbox and give you some details about how to get a hold of me personally. I want to remind you that I do regular training all the time on the Toolbox, and you're more than welcome to sign up for that training anytime you want, and I have that on my website. So to get a copy of the Toolbox for Multicharts, very simple. Go to www.codefortraders.com. It's a one-time fee of $5.95 US. Payments via PayPal. We'll email you the software right away and include a brief user manual. Additionally, here's my contact information. I'll leave it up here for you. I'm the only guy in Chicago still answers his own phone, so feel free to call me on my toll-free line and or Skype if you're out of the country. New customers, I'll give you some coaching on this anytime, just as a thank you for getting started. And visit my website, www.theliononline.com, and I will have all kinds of free education and training. A lot of it is every month in the Toolbox, and I'd love to consider you a new customer, and I want you to consider me your friend in the business. So thanks for coming, guys. I hope you get a chance to use the Toolbox, and if there's anything I can do to help assist you to get started, feel free to contact me anytime. Good luck and good trading. Don't forget to run your stops, guys, and we'll be speaking soon. Thanks.